Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the Patriots Talk podcast. This is Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast, but you're not hearing Tom Curran's voice. It's me, Phil Perry, filling in for TC. The nose is indisposed. He actually told me that he wanted me to tell you that. He wanted me to put it that way. Exactly. So there it is, Tom. If you're listening, you guys understand Tom not in for the bulk of this week. He will be in later this week, however, for a Patriots Talk podcast after the game, the preseason finale between the Patriots and Titans on Friday. But until then, we wanted to make sure we were populating the Patriots Talk podcast feed. And what we're going to do that with is with an interview that I did with Devin McCourty for Quick Slants for the pod. We're bringing worlds together, audio, video. It's a beautiful thing. It's 2023. Welcome aboard, everyone. So without going on and on about our conversation with Devin, of course, it was fantastic. He's always fantastic, but we covered a lot of ground. We're talking about the Patriots offensive line, Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones, Christian Gonzalez. Can he be Devin McCourty from Devin McCourty's rookie year? Remember when he dominated as a corner coming into the draft? 2010, starts right away. He's covered Calvin Johnson and number one receivers and doing a damn good job of it. Can this year's first round rookie at corner do something similar? And who's his James Sanders? Devin McCourty always talked about James Sanders. That was his mentor early in his career. Is there a guy on the Patriots roster right now who fills the same role? And of course, how do the Patriots plan on filling Devin's free safety role? Still a question, in my opinion, even though we're just a couple weeks away from week one of the regular season. So great stuff from Devin. Without further ado, let's get to the conversation right now. All right, there he is, media superstar Devin McCourty, yet another individual launched into superstardom from the Quick Slants platform. Welcome back to the show, bud.
Appreciate it, man. I'm waiting to send that invoice and for Curran to start paying me. He always says he wants to pay me, but then he cries he's broke. I don't know which one it is.
Free guess. That's how we operate over here. I'm surprised you haven't found that out at this point, Devin. Let's start first with a question. Since you are a member of the media, and since you've been issued, I'm sure, your media panic meter, right? Because as soon as any of us accept a job in the media, we all get a panic meter. So I want to make you really uncomfortable off the bat because you're doing your twin cast now, Sunday Night Football. You've got takes and completely unbiased Patriots takes, I'm sure. Where's your panic meter, 1 to 10, when it comes to this Patriots offensive line? Let's see how uncomfortable we can make you right off the bat.
1 to 10, second week of preseason. Cole Strange is out. Big Mike is out. I call it, I would give it an honest 5. Strictly from the outside looking in, I don't know where the health of those guys are at. I would assume for Big Mike, there will be some type of ramp-up period. So until he's back on the field, I would assume he's not out there. Cole, I could see him coming back at any time. But we only have one game of actual footage of the offensive line. Now, you guys have been privy to watching practice every day. I haven't. So I say 5 because there were some good moments in the game, and there were some moments that'll lose a game. The strip sack off the edge will lose a football game. So if I know Bill, he's in there going nuts over the bad, but he's also sitting in a staff meeting like, let's continue to progress in some of this good. But week 1 against Philly, like, you would hope this looks a little better Friday night. So my panic meter could be a little higher if they leave out on a Friday against Tennessee, not as well as you would hope for.
Well, it's good to see the panic meter is working. You've dusted it off. It's working. And that thing, we'll be able to maybe check back in with you over the course of the season and see where that thing sits. When it comes to the offense.
I'll tweet you Friday night.
Love
where
it.
My meter's at. I'll just tweet you a number.
We'll be watching. We'll be watching for that. Thank you very much. When it comes to the offense, when it comes to Mac Jones in particular, and maybe Bill O'Brien and some of the things you've seen from him, again, you're watching these preseason games closely. Obviously, the starters have really only played in one of them, but have you been encouraged by what you've seen from Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones and how they've worked together? It looked like they had a few interesting wrinkles, RPOs, some play action shots down the field in that second preseason game in Green Bay.
Yeah, I think everyone's been talking about it as soon as Billy O got fired. He's a pro's pro. He's called offense at a high level, not just in New England with Tom Brady. He went to Penn State, so he has a little bit of that college background where RPOs really got, going a few years ago. Then he went to Alabama. Like, you've seen this guy, do offense and do offense well. So I think you saw that. You saw them being in multiple different things. I think even the first game against Houston with no starters, you saw some of the concepts trying to leak out. But again, they couldn't block anybody against Houston. And you saw when they did get a hat on a hat, block some people, you saw whether it was Mack in there, whether it was Zappy in there, you saw them, the ability to be in different things. And I thought one of the best plays was when Mack stepped up, tried to deliver the deep ball to Devontae Parker, the DP, miss it a little bit. And, on Twincast, I said it. Tyquan Thornton would be a little different running that route. The speed, DP's more of a guy that's going to go up and get the ball. You want to throw that in tight windows. That's what he does. So I think when they have the full gamut of receivers, you'll see even more from this offense. And the guy I'm most excited about, Kendrick Bourne, has a heck of a year this year, I think. Being in that offense, I think he's the most multiple receiver they have, inside, outside, a little bit of vertical, crushes intermediate, short route guy. I think they're going to be able to use him in a lot of different ways. He's having a big year this year.
Man, who better than to challenge you as you get your media career off the ground than the McCourty children? Mid-answer, no pause from you, power straight through. You're providing us insight. They're getting their FaceTime to launch their own media career soon enough, I'm sure. Unbelievable job by all of you there at the McCourty household. Let me ask you this one. Who's replacing Devin McCourty at free safety for the Patriots this year?
I don't think it's a question anymore. I think that was such a big question going into the offseason because of the length of time that I was there, how long I was able to do, the things I did on the field. But I think you saw throughout this preseason, whether it's been Jalen Mills been in there, London, both of you, go downstairs right now. Sorry about that. Whether it's been Jay Mills in there, who's made a ton of plays in the preseason, but you saw this past game, he didn't even start. They had Duggar in there, they had Pep in there, they had AP in there. So I think between the four of those guys as veterans, they're going to do a great job playing safety. And I think we still haven't seen Mapu Marte out there and what he'll be able to do between linebacker and safety. So I think the replacement kind of question really is out the window. I think it's how well and how much production they're going to get out of these guys. Because I think so far they've showed they're going to be able to be out there communicating, be in the right positions, make plays. It's going to be how dominant they can be out there.
Can you teach us a little football right now and maybe tell us what are the benefits of too high safety coverages or those shell coverages that we've heard so much about, especially in recent years? It feels like the rest of the NFL is kind of shifting toward that. When you were with the team, you've said in the past, everyone knew where you were going to be. You were going to be right there in center field. But with the group they have now, it looks like we might see more of that too high stuff. So what are the benefits of that if Gerard Mayo and Steve Belichick end up going with those looks?
Not to do too deep of a dive in all of the football talk, but I was even back at Rutgers, back in, I think, May or April. And in college football, they all play a too high shell. And it's so interesting to me, I think, because of the way these quarterbacks play offense in college and now they come to the NFL. I think the NFL offensive coordinators have really kind of evolved their game to include a lot of the things guys were able to do in college to be successful. And I think because of that, you've seen the NFL really shift towards being able to have too high safeties, not knowing which safety will rotate down, probably after the snap, maybe pre-snap. It's just a different mix. And I think when you play too high safeties, you have the ability really for your two safeties to be interchangeable, to be two guys that can have similar skill set. Even if they have a little different, it doesn't matter as much as, in years past, you've seen so many teams play with one guy primarily in the middle and another guy down, and they might switch here and there. But you had those true free safeties that we talked about before, the Earl Thomases, the Ed Reeds, the Eric, like these guys that were going sideline to sideline, flying around, making plays. And you also had the guys that were in the box, the Cam Chancellors, the Troy Polamalu. Like those guys were going to be aggressive. Pat Chung, knock linemen out. Now you see guys that have great versatility, that do so many different things. I think the Patriots have that mold. They have not just two guys, they have 4 or 5, maybe 6 guys that they can throw out there and depend on to be able to play that safety position.
Hey, football season is about to kick off, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to win all season long. Because right now, when you bet on a Super Bowl winner, you can get bonus bets every time that team wins in the regular season. Just pick any team to win the Super Bowl, and you'll get bonus bets for every victory. You can use bonus bets on spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/NSBO and start earning bonus bets with America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/NSBO.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hope is here. GamblingHelplineMA.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support, Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. 21 plus in present and select states. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, or Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit www.mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit www.1800gambler.net in West Virginia.
How about Christian Gonzalez, Devin? Obviously many in New England think of you as a safety, but they also would remember your rookie year when you had a phenomenal rookie year at the cornerback position. Now the Patriots have another first-round corner on their roster. They're going to rely on him a lot, it looks like, in 2023 here. Can he be rookie year Devin McCourty? Do you think he can give them that kind of production?
Yeah, I mean, I think for him, when I came in as a rookie, all eyes weren't really on me to be like the guy, like they need this guy. For one, a lot of people were disappointed in me getting drafted in the first round. So I didn't have as much pressure. I just came in and played football and was able to make some plays. I think for him, he comes in so highly touted, right? I think when you talk about first round draft picks, for one, everyone, draft day comes, everyone gets excited, and then Bill usually trades back. This year, everyone's talking about Witherspoon and Gonzalez, who's going to go be the first corner. So, like, when he dropped and the Patriots got him, every fan knew him and was so excited. Like, we can't wait to get this guy. And that just brings on so much pressure. But I think if you go by watching training camp early, the way he's played in games, you got to be excited. I think he showed, I am the guy you thought coming out when it comes to covering skills and covering guys up. And I think he showed that I'm going to use this big frame in the NFL. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to go tackle. I'm going to do those things. So I think, obviously you got to watch week by week how this develops. That's one of your hardest years is your rookie year. You don't know what to expect. But I think it looks pretty good, I would say, overall for this whole Patriots draft class so far. Watching, Keon White out there, everybody raving about Marte out of the practices. So they got to be excited with some of these guys, and I think Gonzalez leads that group.
Who's going to be his James Sanders? You used to talk to us about how important James Sanders was for you early in your career. Who's the guy that's like a James Sanders on this current Patriots team?
I think that's AP. I think AP, Adrian Phillips, I think he has the knowledge from playing in a different system and when he was on the Chargers. But I think he also has now being in that Patriot system, for a few years that he can give that knowledge. And he's the old guy of the group, right? He is now the veteran guy that's been in the NFL for a long time. So I think he can pour wisdom, not just in Gonzalez, but Marte, with different guys in that room, Isaiah Bolden, Amir Speed, like all of these young guys that are in there. I think AP's that guy. He's the guy in the rocking chair. He's going back and forth between him and Jonathan Jones, guys that not just veterans in the NFL, but now have been in New England for a while. I think Kyle Duggar's another guy, but I think, when you're in year 4 in the contract, you're like, you have a lot going on. And I think Doug is developing into those leadership roles and those different things. So I'm excited to see them. But I think a lot of those young guys will be able to look back there and rely on Adrian Phillips, not just on the field, but also in the meeting room, telling them what he sees, how things have worked out in the past. I think he can really fill that role at a high level.
Well, the Patriots rely on Adrian Phillips. We rely on you, friend. Thanks again for helping us here on Quick Slants. Make sure you're watching Devin McCourty on the Patriots preseason Twincast, as well as Sunday Night Football, part of the Peacock family now. We're so excited about that. Thanks again, buddy.
No problem. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Thanks so much to Devin. If you're watching on YouTube, you might have even been able to hear a little bit of this, but we got some great cameos from the McCourty children. The man was a one-man show during that discussion that we had right there. So appreciate him for that. Appreciate the children. Appreciate you for listening. Please rate, comment, subscribe to the Patriots Talk podcast. If you're not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, NBC Sports Boston. Would really, truly appreciate you for that. Again, this won't be the only Patriots Talk pod you get this week. We're coming at you right after the game, Friday night. It might be a little late. We might be a little loopy, but we're going to unload all of our Patriots thoughts on you in that podcast late Friday night, so you have it for the weekend. Keep an eye out for that. We'll talk to you then.